Welcome to this independent analysis of Microsoft's Python in Excel, a feature that's been generating significant buzz in both the data science and business analyst communities since its general availability in September 2024. The title of this presentation tells the story. Python in Excel is a strategic moat, not a goldmine. What does that mean? It means Microsoft isn't primarily building this feature to generate direct revenue. Instead, they're using it as a defensive fortification around their Microsoft 365 ecosystem and as a bridge to their much more lucrative Copilot business. Over the next few minutes, we'll examine the product's market position, its revenue potential, and most importantly, its true role in Microsoft's broader competitive strategy. Let's start with the core thesis. Python in Excel is a strategic weapon designed to defend the Microsoft 365 ecosystem and drive Copilot adoption. Direct revenue? That's secondary. Look at this triangular relationship on screen. Excel sits at the top, the world's most dominant spreadsheet with 1.5 billion users. Python provides the analytical horsepower, and Copilot, that's the AI layer that ties everything together. Here's what you need to understand about each component. First, the feature successfully bridges Excel's massive user base with Python's power, targeting a data science market worth over $100 billion. But, and this is important, its cloud-only architecture and rigid limitations create significant friction for power users. Second, the true adoption accelerator isn't Python itself. It's the integration with Copilot, which lowers the technical barrier and justifies a bundled licensing model. We're talking $24 per month for Python Premium, plus $30 per month for Copilot. And third, while direct revenue from the Premium add-on is projected at a modest $50 to $200 million by 2026, the primary value is creating differentiation against Google Workspace and increasing the perceived value of the entire M365 platform. Microsoft's vision is elegantly simple. Connect 1.5 billion Excel users to the world of Python. Think about what this image represents. A bridge spanning two worlds. On one side, you have the largest installed base of spreadsheet users on the planet. Business analysts, accountants, operations managers, financial planners, people who live in Excel but have never written a line of Python code. On the other side, you have the estimated 100 to 175 billion data science platform market. Machine learning, advanced analytics, statistical modeling, capabilities that have traditionally required specialized tools and programming knowledge. Microsoft's strategic goal is to democratize data science by embedding Python's analytical capabilities directly into the world's most dominant spreadsheet tool. They want to capture value from that massive data science market by making it accessible to people who already know and trust Excel. It's an ambitious bridge to build. The question is, can they pull it off while satisfying both sides? Here's where the rubber meets the road, or rather, where the code meets the cloud. Execution is handled securely in the cloud, and Microsoft has clearly prioritized safety over flexibility. Here's how it works. Users write Python code in any cell using the =py function. That's the entry point. All code is then executed within hypervisor-isolated Azure container instances running a standard Anaconda distribution. The result? No local Python installation required, ensuring enterprise-wide consistency and security. But this architecture comes with significant constraints. These are deliberate design choices, not limitations. No network access. Your code cannot call external APIs or databases. No file system access. Code cannot read or write local files. And limited data transfer. There's a 100 megabyte maximum per calculation. For enterprise IT administrators, this is music to their ears. No security vulnerabilities, no rogue packages, complete control. But for power users who need flexibility, these constraints can feel like a straitjacket. Keep this tension in mind. It's central to understanding the product's market reception. This slide reveals a fundamental tension in the product. The feature's capabilities create a clear divide between business analysts and data scientists. On the left, what's included? What I'd call empowering the analyst. Microsoft provides over 400 security-vetted Anaconda libraries available out of the box. For data manipulation, you get Pandas and NumPy. For visualization, Matplotlib and Seaborn. For machine learning, scikit-learn. And for statistics, stats models and SciPy. For a business analyst who wants to run regression analysis or create advanced visualizations, this is genuinely powerful. No installation, no configuration, no IT tickets. But on the right, what's excluded? And this is where power users get frustrated. No custom packages. Users cannot pip install specialized libraries. For many scientific and research workflows, this is a deal breaker. No direct data ingestion. You cannot read from URLs or connect to databases directly. You need Power Query as a workaround. And critically, it's not a VBA replacement. Python code cannot be triggered by Excel events, limiting automation possibilities. I love this quote from Felix Zumstein, the creator of Excel Wings. We wanted an alternative to VBA, but got an alternative to the Excel formula language. That perfectly captures who this product is really for and who it isn't.
Let's follow the money. Monetization hinges on a premium add-on, pushed by what Microsoft calls the diamond icon. Here's the pricing breakdown. The standard tier is included with your M365 subscription. You get standard, which means throttled speed, automatic mode only, and limited quota before further throttling kicks in. The premium add-on costs $24 per user per month, or $240 per year. For that, you get faster execution, manual and partial calculation modes, and full premium access without quota restrictions. Now, look at that screenshot of the Excel interface. See that diamond icon? That's Microsoft's upgrade prompt, displaying your remaining quota and nudging users toward premium. But here's a key friction point. Microsoft has not disclosed the exact quota thresholds. This lack of transparency creates real uncertainty for IT administrators who need to plan deployments and budgets. How many calculations can a team run before hitting the wall? Nobody knows for certain. This ambiguity might be intentional. It keeps the upgrade pressure constant without giving users a clear target to optimize around.
Now we arrive at a conspicuous silence. Since its general availability in September 2024, Microsoft has disclosed 0 adoption metrics for Python and Excel. Look at the contrast on screen. 70%. That's the figure Microsoft proudly shares about Fortune 500 Copilot adoption. But Python and Excel users? Just a question mark. This stands in stark contrast to Microsoft's communication strategy for other products. They're usually quite aggressive about sharing positive adoption metrics. Remember how quickly they announced Teams user counts? Or Copilot enterprise deployments? The opacity here suggests one of two things. Either early-stage metrics are not yet impressive enough to share, which wouldn't be unusual for a new feature finding its audience, or this is a deliberate strategy to bundle the Python narrative entirely with the broader success of Copilot. My read? Probably a combination of both. Microsoft wants Python and Excel to be seen as a Copilot feature, not a standalone product. That positioning serves their strategic interests better than raw user numbers ever could. The verdict from the market is split. Enthusiast hype meets power user reality. On the enthusiast side, we've seen public endorsements from Python creator Guido van Rossum and Pandas creator Wes McKinney. These are significant voices lending credibility to the integration. Enterprise customers like KPMG have provided testimonials praising the potential for automating financial planning and analysis workflows. But the skeptics have substantive concerns. Cloud-only execution creates unacceptable latency and data privacy concerns for some organizations. Particularly in regulated industries, sending data to Azure for every calculation raises compliance questions. Quota limits and those unexpected number-blocked errors, they interrupt critical workflows without warning. Imagine building a financial model and suddenly your calculations stop working because you hit an undisclosed limit. And perhaps most frustrating for teams, code cannot be shared across workbooks. This requires manual copy-pasting and creates version control nightmares. If you've ever tried to maintain consistency across multiple Excel files, you know this pain. The enthusiasts see potential. The skeptics see practical limitations. Both perspectives are valid. Here's the insight that explains everything. The primary adoption accelerator is not Python, it's Copilot. Look at this workflow on screen. A user types a simple natural language prompt. Forecast sales for the next 4 quarters based on historical data and plot the trend. Copilot takes that request, generates the Python code, complete with pandas, stats models, and matplotlib, explains what the code does, and inserts it into Excel. Result, a professional sales forecast with visualization. The user never needed to know Python syntax. They never needed to understand which libraries to import. Copilot handled all of that. This dramatically lowers the entry barrier for the core business analyst user base. They can leverage Python's power without needing to learn the syntax. It's the difference between I need to learn programming and I just need to describe what I want. That's why Microsoft's real strategy becomes clear. Python in Excel is the capability. Copilot is the unlock. Together,
They create a value proposition that neither could achieve alone.
Now let's examine how this creates a powerful revenue flywheel, a self-reinforcing cycle that benefits Microsoft at every turn. Follow the arrows on this diagram. Python in Excel provides powerful new analytical capabilities within Excel. These capabilities make Copilot integration compelling. It makes those features accessible to non-coders, creating a compelling reason to upgrade. That Copilot integration drives M365 ecosystem lock-in. The combined value makes the entire platform stickier and harder for competitors like Google to challenge. And that ecosystem lock-in circles back to make Python in Excel more valuable. It's only available within M365. The economics are straightforward. Python in Excel is available in qualifying M365 tiers, but unlocking its full potential via AI requires a Microsoft 365 Copilot license at $30 per user per month. This bundling strategy drives adoption of two products simultaneously, creating substantial revenue uplift per seat. It's not about selling Python. It's about selling the whole stack. Let's situate Python in Excel within the competitive landscape. This comparison is revealing and helps clarify Microsoft's positioning. Python in Excel is designed for business analysts and FP&A professionals. Google Sheets, by contrast, primarily serves general business users. Pricing highlights an important distinction. Python in Excel Premium is priced at $240 per year. Google Sheets itself is free, but advanced Python functionality depends on third-party add-ons, which often introduce additional costs and complexity. The entry barrier is where differences become clear. Python in Excel requires zero installation. It works out of the box. Google Sheets users must discover, evaluate, and configure external tools to achieve similar capabilities. And when it comes to integration, only Python in Excel offers true native integration between Python and the spreadsheet environment. The key takeaway is this: Microsoft's native integration creates a significant competitive advantage over Google Sheets. By embedding Python directly into Excel, Microsoft delivers a more seamless, reliable, and accessible experience than approaches that rely on third-party add-ons. That's the moat in action.
Let's size the addressable market for the premium add-on. This funnel visualization walks us through the numbers. We start with approximately 1.5 billion global Excel users. That's the total universe. But not all of them are relevant. Narrow to M365 commercial subscribers, 258 million plus active users. These are the people who could theoretically access the feature. Filter further to eligible tiers, business and enterprise plans, roughly 150 to 180 million users. Now, the critical filter: users with data analysis workflows. Not everyone in Excel needs Python. Maybe 30 to 40% of eligible users regularly perform the kind of analysis that would benefit from Python integration. That brings us to the target addressable market, 45 to 72 million potential users. That's still enormous. If even a small percentage convert to Premium and adopt Copilot, the revenue implications are substantial. But as we'll see on the next slide, conversion assumptions dramatically affect projections.
Revenue scenarios show a wide range, from niche tool to significant business. This chart models 4 scenarios based on different adoption and conversion assumptions. Scenario 1, conservative. 2% adoption of the feature, 10% conversion to Premium. Revenue range, $22 to $35 million annually. Scenario 2, moderate. 5% adoption, 15% conversion. Revenue range, $81 to $130 million. Scenario 3, optimistic. 8% adoption, 20% conversion. Revenue range, $216 to $346 million. Scenario 4, aggressive. 15% adoption, 25% conversion. Revenue range, $405 to $648 million. The likely range highlighted here is $50 to $200 million in direct annual revenue from the Premium add-on by 2026. That lands somewhere between conservative and moderate scenarios. For context, Microsoft's total revenue exceeds $200 billion annually. Even the aggressive scenario represents a tiny fraction of overall business. This reinforces the thesis: Python in Excel's value to Microsoft isn't primarily about the revenue it generates directly. Future growth depends on balancing powerful tailwinds against significant headwinds. On the acceleration side, the tailwinds: Copilot bundling is the single biggest driver of adoption and perceived value. As Copilot penetration increases, Python in Excel adoption follows naturally. Enterprise agreements matter too.
Volume licensing deals may bundle the Python Premium into higher M365 tiers, effectively making it free for large customers while increasing overall deal value. Vertical adoption could exceed averages. High-intensity data verticals like financial services and consulting could drive above-average adoption. But the headwinds are real. The good enough free tier may satisfy most casual users. If throttled compute handles their occasional analysis needs, why pay for premium? User frustration with quota limits, cloud latency, and lack of custom packages may dampen enthusiasm and generate negative word of mouth. And viable alternatives exist. Tools like XL Wings Lite and PyXLL offer local execution for users who need more power and flexibility. The balance between these forces will determine whether Python and Excel becomes a central infrastructure or remains a niche enhancement.
Let's close with the final verdict. Python in Excel is a powerful strategic asset with an uncertain paycheck. Look at this image, a fortified castle surrounded by a moat with AI at its center. That's Python and Excel's role in Microsoft's strategy. The summary: Python in Excel is a masterful strategic play. By prioritizing enterprise security and a zero installation experience, Microsoft has created a feature that strengthens its competitive moat against Google and serves as a powerful on-ramp for its high-margin Copilot business. The bottom line? The product's greatest value is not its direct revenue, which is likely to remain a small fraction of Microsoft's overall business. Its true success will be measured by its ability to deepen enterprise dependency on the M365 ecosystem and accelerate the adoption of AI-driven workflows via Copilot. That's the strategic moat thesis. Microsoft isn't mining for gold here, they're building castle walls. And in the long game of platform competition, walls might matter more than treasure. Thank you for your attention.